You're about to watch a video that's an excerpt of one of my online courses, free sample if you will. If you enjoy it, please get in touch, dan@brojo.org, and let me know what you think. Ultimately, dealing with failures and setbacks and so on is really philosophical. It is all about your mindset. It is all about your psychology. There is nothing in the world that goes perfectly to plan, so you have to be willing to accept that, embrace this, see it as part of the challenge of being alive. Put it this way, if everything was simple and easy, you would get bored to death. So be thankful for your problems and be thankful for the obstacles. Now, it's easier said than done, but in this video I just want to cover some of the core mindset principles that I want you to start embedding and embracing. The first is about the concept of luck or fate. Destiny. There are billions and billions, trillions of variables in the universe that are completely outside of your control. And I mean, you can't even barely influence them, let alone control them. And these variables have a much bigger say over the accomplishment of your goals than your own behavior. Now, that's not to say that we're victims and that we shouldn't try, but it is to say that it's you versus the universe when you go to achieve your goals, and you have to accept that you are severely outnumbered. So to expect yourself to win all the time is very unreasonable. Now, what you need to do is understand that while luck is against you, there are waves of luck that come into your favor, and you need to ride those waves. But when there are none of those waves, you just need to battle through like a good little trooper. Know that you're up against a force that's greater than yourself, but with determination, resilience, reluctance to give in, you can still win in the end. As the old saying goes, no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. Whatever your plan is, no matter how beautifully you've written your goals and prepared for everything, real life has simply too many variables to predict, which means no matter how you think it should go, it's definitely not going to go exactly like that. So rather than wishing and hoping and stressing and controlling and trying to make things go smoothly and exactly the way you want them to, understand that your plan is merely a draft that is going to be edited by contact with real life. As soon as you go to take action, everything changes. Once you embrace this concept, you won't be so upset by inevitable failures and setbacks and derailers. Mathematically speaking, what can go wrong will go wrong eventually. It's all just a matter of odds. Anything you can predict going wrong has a likelihood of occurring. Now, you might have a wave of good luck and none of those things occur, but what's far more likely is that some of them will. So when you go into taking your actions, assume at least a few things are going to go wrong. Some of them will be quite predictable, they're the most likely things to go wrong, and others will surprise you, especially if you're doing something new. This kind of expect the unexpected approach, like something's going to go wrong, I'm going to have to watch out for it, I'm going to have to adapt to it, let's just find out what it is, rather than hoping that nothing goes wrong. There's an old saying that's often attributed to Einstein, which is repeating something and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. I'm fairly certain it wasn't him that said that, but regardless, repeating a strategy that is shown not to work is clearly insanity. So you have to understand if what you didn't work the first time, it must be tweaked at least a little bit to work the second time. Maybe it's just the outcome you're trying to achieve was the bit you got wrong and you need to bring that down. But more likely there's something in your strategy or your mindset as you attempted the action that upset it. It was an obstacle that you couldn't see. So whenever you're making your second attempt or your third or your fifth or your 100th, a slight tweak should be made with full acceptance that the way you did it before didn't work because it couldn't work. Everything wrong that happens to you is either something upsetting and unfair, or it's an opportunity for growth. You get to decide which one of those things is true. Apparently in the Japanese language, the words for crisis and opportunity are the same. I couldn't be bothered Googling this, so you can figure it out for yourself. But that's the kind of mindset we're going for here. When something goes wrong, what it really is an opportunity to try something new. And the quicker you can get to that perspective on things not going to plan, the more you'll enjoy the real life reaction to your plans and your goals. If you have more of a mindset where it has to go my way or otherwise it's an absolute failure and I'm a loser, then you're bound to be disappointed and disheartened because it is going to go wrong no matter how skilled you are. And here is the final but most important mindset principle. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your reaction to that. Now let me be very clear here. There are two reactions you're going to have. There's going to be the initial emotional reaction that is beyond your control. The trigger, if you will, the provocation. If I'm walking down the street and somebody unexpectedly punches me in the face, I'm going to have my first reaction of shock and horror and anger, this kind of boof, before I even realize what has happened. That's reaction number one. I can't do anything about that one. The real reaction that we're going to focus on today in this course is reaction number two, which is your reaction to the first reaction. You might call it your response to the reaction. That's where you have all your power. You can either go in a very unhealthy and unhelpful direction, or you can transition into something that's going to make your life better. You always are at that crossroads when it comes to that second reaction. So that is the point of control. That is the most important element of anything going wrong that you need to focus on. That second reaction, the response to the first one.